Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of The Flank. Alright, I'm joined by my friend, my duo, my companion. He's a good fucking guy. He goes by the name of Benji Nassim. Ben, how you doing today?
I'm doing good, Tom. Listen, I want to talk about something off the offset of the show. I was not feeling too good this morning, but I want to say a big shout out to the medical crew at that Denmark-Finland game. I'm a huge Christian Eriksen fan, and that was a really tough incident to watch.
Scary,
and I'm glad
bro.
he was able to pull through. I know it's not related to COD, guys, but I was pretty shook this morning. I was able to regain, but we had some good matches to talk about today, Tom.
Hey, we could talk about a bunch of stuff. We don't always need to talk about COD, you know, but
I just wanted to shout out the guys.
I'm glad he's okay now, right?
Situation. Yeah.
He's okay now, right?
Yeah, he talked to the team. He's awake and alert, but it could have been a lot worse.
Oh yeah, it was scary. It was definitely scary for sure. But we'll definitely get into some COD. We have Parasite joining us today as well. Parasite, how are you doing?
What's up, man? I'm good. Just another weekend, another Challenger Cup, and another set of league matches. So.
Yeah. How did everything go today with your Challengers team? I haven't watched anything, so I really don't know what happened.
We made Sunday. We had to play with the fill-in, but at least we made it through the second day of the tournament. So.
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. You got it done.
Yeah.
So that's all that really matters. But we did have a few matches today. We're gonna go over them. I was a little bit busy today. I didn't really get to catch most of this first match, nor did I really want to watch it. But you know, we'll talk about it. I was actually getting a PCR test or something like. I think it's called a PCR test.
Yeah, it's a PCR test.
Yeah. It's just a
test.
test.
Is that the photo you tweeted out with Hydra? That's what you guys are doing?
Yeah. Me and Paco went to go take the test. They shoved this thing up our nose and they wiggled it around. Me and Paco came out with teary eyes. We were both looking at each other laughing because we were both. It makes you cry like when they stick things up your fucking nose.
It used to be a lot worse. I got one like way in the beginning because someone I know I got contact traced, and it's a lot better now, but it really sucks. They just stuck a giant thing up your nose. Feel like a brain's getting poked.
Oh no, honestly, I didn't mind. I thought it was gonna be a lot worse than what it actually was. Like it really wasn't that bad. It just made my eyes tear up a little bit, but it was nice to be with Paco. And then I went to go to Best Buy with Paco. Me and Paco went to Best Buy. We tried to get a monitor because I was gonna do a 3-monitor setup, but now I was thinking about not doing it. I was probably just gonna stick with 2. But we'll see. We'll see if I can do with 2. But with 2 PCs, I like having 3, just so I can have 2 monitors where I can like drag stuff over and shit. I just like 3 for some reason, but maybe it's just me. But let's get into some of these matches, man. You know, we got a lot of matches today. We had 3 matches to go through. But we're kicking things off with Los Angeles Guerrillas against the London Royal Ravens, and I'm gonna be honest, Ben and Parasite, a snooze fest. I was falling asleep.
Even though this one went to 4 maps, guys, like, we'll skip this listening because this map.
I gotta mute it. Hold on, Ben.
Sorry, this map was. I mean, you guys see the score here.
The first map, London waxed them. They had 60 points. What do you want to talk about? London beat them on every rotation. Every time LAG rotated, they got broken. They weren't winning fights. They were getting absolutely worked on.
Well, both hard points were like this, and it's been like LAG's issue for a couple weeks now. I think their hard point game is just not there. They're not getting outslayed by a lot in these matches, but they're losing by a lot. So that's not a good sign either. They're going to need to improve. Just flat out, they're going to be starting in losers 1. They got to be better in hardpoint. It's one among many issues they have right now. It's probably the most glaring now, especially in the last couple of weeks. They were hot with the honeymoon, and it's fallen off.
I mean,
it's the same story that you talk about all the time, Tom. Where like they get kills, like you said, they were close in the slaying department. They just don't do anything with them. Same thing that happens consistently to these guys.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be honest. I think they just got rid of their best player, and they've just been going downhill. I think they literally made a very quick roster decision. I think they should have built the team around Vivid, and instead they got rid of him, which I thought was very interesting. I don't know who came up with that decision, if that was Ricky and Bevels or those meatheads over there, but I don't know what the fuck's going on. All I know is they're falling apart, guys. LA Guerrillas is falling apart. And I can't say anything other than that because we all see it. We all see it just by watching the games. They don't look good. They just don't look that good. They don't look scary on paper. They don't look scary when they're playing. And London, they finally win a fucking round 11. These guys are 0-7 in round 11, and they finally pulled through. And Ben, what are your thoughts on that? These guys finally got some ice, or are they just playing LAG?
No, I think it may be a combo of both. I mean, eventually they were bound to win one of these rounds. And you know, we don't want to totally shoo LAG. Like, they've been consistently a decent to good S&D team at points this year. Whereas London has been competitive in search, and then the late rounds, they just get themselves in trouble and they're not able to close it out. So a little bit of a turn of fortune for London to go up 2-0 in the series.
My bad. Parasite, am I being an asshole?
Yeah, no, it just made me laugh because the way you said it's just funny.
It's just like,
it's true.
Dude, what do you
it's
want me
true.
to say, man?
I mean,
It's just...
we call it out as, man.
Yeah,
No, you know what it is. You know what it is too.
true.
I'm just so sick and tired of just beating around the bush, trying to be nice here or there. At the end of the day, if people suck, they suck. You know, there was times where I wasn't playing well, and I said, dude, I just fucking suck. You know, what are you gonna fucking do? So, you know, I just gotta call it how I see it. When I watch LAG play, there's just no star factor to them. They're just so.
Yeah, we're this late into the season, bro. Like, if you suck, you suck, and it sucks to suck.
Yeah,
Literally.
it sucks to suck.
I just feel like LAG's problem, when they picked up Reese last year, he helped their team a lot in being a really dynamic player. You know, sometimes like the trade-off is when he's playing with sole players, he's going to be kind of off kilter on the system. But the problem is they've now gone into too far to the underside of the pendulum, which is they don't really have a lot of active playmakers. Yeah, at times you get some takeover games from someone like Apathy, but they're too far and few between for them to be a real competitive team right now. So ultimately, I don't really know where they can go from here. There's not a lot of roster options. Time's kind of run out, and we've talked about
There's
it.
nowhere to go. This is what they want to do.
Top 3, top 4 at this major to actually have a chance to make champs. So
This is what they wanted. This is the team they wanted.
You want what's really troublesome about this for teams that want to make changes is if they want to pick up AMs. I know for a fact that a lot of AMs have said no to like potentially joining some of these teams because they just don't see the benefit in it. It's like you're joining a team and you're gonna either try to save them, but like, is it really worth it? Like potentially just ruining your stock by joining a team that's, you know, not playing well and just further feeding into that?
Yeah, I mean, it depends. It honestly depends. I mean, personally, I think if you could get yourself onto a pro team, it depends what kind of contract you're signing. If you can guarantee your spot next year, I mean,
I don't think that's. I just don't think, Tom. Like, let's talk about LAG, right? Because the Thieves situation is so fluid that I won't be surprised if some of the Thieves players end up on LAG. So, like, even if you're a top AM and you get a shot on this roster here at the end of the season, like, you know, someone like Slasher might come in and bring in 3 other people, and then you're just kind of chalked at that point. So, I totally understand why some of those top AMs are like, you know what? Like, there's a lot of money to win the amateur scene right now. Being a pro and getting a 14-day and then getting no prize money, like the trade-off doesn't really make sense.
That's what I'm saying. It depends. If it's a 14-day, absolutely not. But if they're guaranteeing you like a long-term contract where you'll have a spot going into next year, you could just make a name for yourself. As long as you're playing good individually, they can build the team around you. It depends. Yeah. It's very situational. It depends a lot on what you're offered and who you're playing with. But, you know, somebody like Decimate, right? Like, Decimate could have just played and just focused on himself and did his thing, and going into next year, he would have been on Seattle. You know what I'm saying? But instead, he fucking shit. I feel like he fucking shot himself in the foot a little bit.
I disagree that he would have been guaranteed a spot in Seattle though, because I think that they're going to do a full retool on that team. And I don't know about
guaranteed, but he got his foot in the door.
I get your point though. I just think the mechanics of that, like, I agree with you. There was a point in time where, like, if you were offered on a pro team, you would join a pro team. Now, like, especially with contracts kind of for the year kind of ending after champs, and you may not have the guarantee, and then the amount of prize money that's in amateurs now, where if you win one of these elites, it's like 5K each. It's pretty good, plus all the cups. So I see the trade-off that people are having. It's not as much of a clear-cut decision as it used to be back in the day.
So let me ask you a question, Ben.
Yeah.
All right. This LAG team, are you keeping anybody from this team going into next year? You keeping anyone?
I think maybe the only person I think about keeping, and this sucks because a lot of these people are my friends, I think it's Cheen. Because Cheen did play well when he first came in the roster, and you can't really look at him as like a direct result of their failure, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. I think he's proven that he's actually not a bad player.
Well, they have 2 main ARs on the fucking team.
Yeah, I think if
anything, 2 main ARs, and then they got fucking another AR. Hey, I think Silly's a better AR than he is a sub. Wasn't Silly playing his best COD in this year, running a Krig?
He was running the flex and being at second AR.
He was fucking frying with the AR because it fits his playstyle better. It's just how he plays. It just fits his playstyle. I
think I kind of agree with Chris's take though. I think I would keep Cheen, even if like ultimately he may not be your starting AR next year. I think Cheen's like a good enough team player and can provide a lot of lift and benefit to chemistry. Like, I think he's a good piece to keep around. The rest of the players though, I mean, I think the magic between those players has kind of run its course now, and I think they need to seek other options on other teams and maybe see if they can figure it out.
I think they need to stop teaming with each other.
That's what I'm saying. Like I think the
just
trios
chalk
magic
up,
is done.
chalk
Yeah.
up the World War II event. Just chalk it up because I just feel like the trio needs to break up. I feel like
The worst part is bar apathy. Like these guys have all been playing so well together that like their stock as like a trio has diminished so much that like even if they want to try to get on other teams, like if you're looking at some of these other better teams, superstar teams, like they even gonna play with these people now just because of how like much their stock has diminished as players from
I don't
teaming with
know.
each other for so long. It's such a shitty situation, and I mean who knows what happens, but like it just sucks to see some of my friends go through this shit.
Yeah,
to be
no,
honest.
I mean, hey, listen, it's being a competitor, Chris. I mean, you know the
Business.
feeling, right?
Yeah.
It's all business, and it sucks to see when you see such good people, get tossed to the side. But at the end of the day, it's business. It's like you get paid a lot of money to perform, and if you don't perform, it's just like anything else. You're gonna get replaced.
Yeah.
So that's why there's a lot of pressure on a lot of these guys. There's a lot of pressure to perform and do your best. And when you're not doing that, it can be very hard mentally for a lot of these players. So I feel bad for them. I feel for them. But at the same time,
I feel for them, but they've had what 8 months as a team now, basically, give or take. And
yeah.
Outside of that Thieves win in stage 1 where they got top 6 of that event, they got 40 points of that event or 50 points of that event. That's over half of the current CDL points they have. They haven't really done much outside of that one Atlanta Faze win as well.
Yeah.
I just think enough time has passed now that don't want to beat about the bush. I just think the team has run its course.
What if these guys come out on Fry on land though? Like they might not make the
be a great
champs, but-
story. Fantastic story.
I'll be fucking mind blown. I'll be mind blown at these guys coming on late. You think they'll just come out and just fry people? You think LAG is just gonna come on late?
I mean, like obviously looking at it, probably not. But like, you never know. Like
we haven't been
to land.
Let's check out the Afro interview too. Back it up. Let's check it out.
Go back to Afro interview?
Yeah, because I've never seen the kid talk.
That point, Chris, like we haven't seen a team like be the bottom team in the league and then they pull up the champs and then they just start
it's always just fun to
everyone.
like talk about what if,
Yeah, I mean, the one thing I was gonna say is, listen, as much as I feel bad for him, then there's also people in challengers who aren't making a fucking dime, who are grinding their ass off, and they're also trying to pursue a dream, and maybe those guys deserve it, right? There's people that deserve shit, like there's people that just deserve to be in the league and that aren't. So it goes both ways, I feel for the people who deserve to be in and aren't in the league, and then I feel for the people who are in the league losing their spots. It's tough. But let's go into this interview. We got Afro speaking for the first time. Let's see what the kid has to say, guys.
I have Afro from London Royal Ravens. Afro, it's so lovely to have you joining me. First time. I am so excited to speak to you. And I'm very excited about that win because you guys have been so close to getting wins and it just hasn't been able to happen. But finally we have one on the board for you guys. How nice is it for you guys to get this dub heading into the major?
Massive confidence boost, really big confidence boost. I think obviously after the few losses we had, well, four losses we had, confidence was a bit down, so at least getting the win just before the major helps us a lot.
Definitely. Now, Afro, we've had our eye on you, my dude. You have been frying. You're an incredible talent, and it's so good to see, really like utilizing that on the roster. Now, you got called up not that long ago, so what has the transition been like for you?
To be honest, it's been quite hard because the two different play styles from NA to EU is quite completely different. But I'm slowly getting there. I think I still need a little bit more time, but I think give a bit more time and I think I'll be better, 100%.
I love that. I don't know how much better you can get, Afro, to be honest. You're looking pretty good out there, not going to lie. Now, I have a final question for you, my friend. What is a good piece of advice that you could give to a talented rookie coming up from Challengers? Is there anything that you can give them?
Be accountable for your mistakes, I'd probably say.
Ooh.
Someone tells you do something wrong, just make sure you're accountable for it. That's one of the big problems, Challengers.
I like that.
That was a really good answer.
Never get
Great answer. Who the fuck is this guy?
That's actually like an amazing answer.
That's a great
Thank
answer.
you so much for joining us. It was.
And he just sounds smart. Be accountable.
Yeah.
Be accountable. He's fucking. You heard that guy? He's fucking smart. He's a smart guy.
I think
smart guy.
Tom, just to put a little pin in that from the London side, because I know we didn't really talk about them.
Sure.
They haven't looked good this stage. They really need this win. It's going to get them, one little bye to lose round 2. So they'll get a reprieve. I think basically the schedule works out right. The winners round 1 and lose round 1 of the first day. So they'll play on that Friday of the event. Maybe they can get another run in them again, but it kind of starts here, I guess. They've got a similar problem to LAG. time's kind of run out. They need to have a big one at this event if they want to have any chance to make champs.
Yeah, I feel you. Hey, Capo Guns, what's wrong with you roasting people about your looks? I would love to see a selfie. Give me a fucking selfie, put it in the chat, and maybe we could pull it up on the flank. Let's go into the next series. We got Atlanta Faze going up against the Minnesota Rocker. How you fucking doing? We got Attach and Crew coming in on the left side in purple and black on the right side. We got Simp and Abizi, the Tiny Terrors in red and white. Ben, the vetoes, break it down.
Pretty straightforward vetoes. Both teams like playing Raid. Both teams like playing Garrison. I was a little surprised that Express made it in here. Kind of, I see that Faze kind of maybe try to go. Looking at kind of what the maps that both teams vetoed here for S&D, I would assume Faze kind of try to goat Minnesota into not picking Express, but and see if they would go for the standoff pick. But I guess Minnesota went for Express. Other than that, it was Stanny's birthday today, so shout out him as well. Was a big
Happy
series
birthday,
for the
Stanley.
Minnesota guys. Inexplicably, Tom, I don't know how it has happened. These teams have not played each other all year.
I know, it's so fucking weird.
It's the first time, and there's a lot of storylines here. You have ex-teammates, the situation that happened at the end of Atlanta last season where Preston and Mike moved on, so they've got a little bit of beef with the other ATL guys. And it was an interesting matchup, I think, watching overall. I think both teams kind of, I thought the way the maps played out is ultimately like a lot of really clutch 2 and 3 pieces kind of swung and made these maps very close. I think Minnesota will probably rue how they didn't really finish off this map. And map 1, I think this, to their credit and what they said on Twitter, that this series would be pretty different if they'd won this map. And I think on the Faze side, you know, a series like this can be tough for Faze if you think about it. Like, last stage, they didn't actually get first in the group, correct? I believe they started winners round 1.
Who, Faze?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
I don't know if they got a buy or not, but ultimately, like, they're the type of team that doesn't matter. So there's not as much at stake at them at this match than there is for Minnesota.
Right.
So that can be a little bit tough, but it was a great series, really entertaining. I don't know if you kind of felt the same way, Tom.
No, it was really entertaining, especially this first map. I mean, this one went all the way down to the wire. I mean, it was going very back and forth. There was definitely times where I felt like Faze was in control. There was times where I felt like Minnesota was in control. I just felt like it was a pretty close match throughout the whole entire map. At the end, I don't really know what happened. I thought Minnesota should have had it in the bag. It seemed like Faze just kept flooding through front, and somehow we were able to break the hill through green, so we could definitely watch that back and maybe try and break it down a little bit. But I think Faze, their talent kind of bailed them out a little bit at the end of this game. I feel like they were somehow able to finesse their way through the front. I don't know. We're gonna have to go back and kind of break it down. But
When
we'll
doesn't
start
it,
from
bro?
the P5 here and kind of watch it through.
what happened, Parasite?
I said, when doesn't it? Those guys are literally just disgusting.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes that's the problem with that's why it's so hard to beat them, is because even when they do make mistakes, they still make the most of their situation. Like, they make the most of a bad situation and still bail themselves out because they're just talented and they can just challenge people and just fucking shit on you. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, Faze were able to clutch up the first map, and I agree with the Minnesota guys. If they win this first map, it's a way different series, way different.
You know what I really not dislike, but this is the one thing that kind of hurts for me for Minnesota. I feel like ever since they added Standy, they're like so close. There's like, I feel like one thing missing to this team, not like player wise. I don't know what it is to like being a top 3, top 4 team. Like they've been really competitive with everyone they've played, and like you see a lot of good moments out of this team, and it sucks because like you watch them play some of these good teams and they beat them, they put up a fight, but there's just something missing, dude. That's like keeping them from being in that like top 3, top 4 conversation, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like they're a little inconsistent. Sometimes I feel like a lot of good spurts out of them, and sometimes I feel like they just look so flat and they look like they're moving in slow motion, and they just, I don't know. Sometimes they got fucking bricks on their feet. But right here, Attach, he was struggling a little bit this map. He didn't have the best maps. He played well throughout the rest of the series, but he was turning up right here at the end though. Dylan Attach, you know, even though he was struggling on the scoreboard, he turned up at the end right here. He's picking up a couple kills, turned around, picked up another couple kills. He's on a 4 or 5 streak. He ended up delaying just in time, just enough time to send it to another P2 hill. And again, Minnesota, they have the rotation, they have everything. They got somebody on the back tank watching all of square, all of lights. He ends up falling, which was a big mistake, I think. I think if he can hold that, like, I don't know how he ended up dying there. Like, if you rewind that, Ben, can you rewind that and pause it?
Yeah, give me a second. Sorry, I had to switch over to my other monitor.
Oh, no, don't worry about it. We're winding it because I'm a little confused. Like right here. So look at number 1, right? Number 1, you got Major Maniac. He's got everything. He's got everything. If he doesn't see anything, all he needs to do is, yo, they're all front. They're all front. This guy number 2 doesn't even need the fucking heat. This guy number 2 can, because Major Maniac dies and gets picked, they just all start flooding front. He doesn't have the information. Like, at this point, why isn't everybody from Minnesota just looking at front when Mike was
an
watching?
opportunity here now. Let me see this.
Well, then here, but it gets mixy and he still gets gunned, though. He still gets gunned. Is this in fucking slow motion, Ben?
Yeah, but
Yeah,
since
I'm
slow
trying to
motion,
watch
so watch it
this.
through.
Fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh no.
Fuck
I mean,
it.
Chris got a couple of big kills, and then the Faze do a good job, like bait and switching here. I mean, those two kills
but
were
I'm saying,
huge for Malik
it
and
got
MC.
really mixy because of the initial fuck up. They had the perfect setup, and you have a guy. Look, go back to that initial setup. Go back and look at it.
Yeah,
It-
basically, number one gets picked. It makes it so the players that are stacked up around bricks have to like hesitate in helping green,
Well,
and that's when they get out.
Yeah,
Yo,
they don't
well,
know.
I'm gonna-
Yeah, they don't know because once number 1 dies, once Mike dies, he can't call that information anymore, and the guys' bricks have to they have to turn. They don't know if they're hitting arch and hitting brick. Like they don't know. Mike was the one who was
Exactly, yeah.
watching that, but instead, all of Faze flooded through front and just outnumbered whoever was in the front of that hill. And Faze just did a good job using their numbers. I mean, I think Mike right there needs to just literally play for his information. Do not chow. Do not die. Just wait till people slide across. Call out the information to your team. Pepper people with bullets. Get them weak. Get them one shot. It's like just a really annoying spot. They ended up fucking that up. They fucked it up. Ben, you paused it. What's the problem?
Yeah, a BZP3, I know you guys are talking about that. One thing I wanted to bring up, too, in the situation is I also felt like, what are you guys' thoughts on what MC does here? So if I back it up, he was actually sitting top green with like 20 seconds left, and he actually hits old. I feel like if he had gone to new and held them up, then they would have had a pretty clean win here.
They need 6 points to win. So
Yeah.
I think he's like checking green. He sees nobody's there. He thinks maybe he can catch some people slipping and maybe collapse on this hill and win the game here. So I could see his thought process there. I'm maybe trying to flood onto this hill. But I agree. I think Cell maybe could have played his life a little bit. I mean, they almost did it. I mean, they almost broke in. They were a couple seconds too short, but this is the big fuck up for me. I mean, you have number 1 watching the whole cross. You have number 2 and number 4 still holding bricks when they don't even need to. Nobody's there. Mike had it the whole time. And while they're doing that, they have people from Phases flooding front. It ends up getting mixy. The trades keep going back and forth. It just shouldn't be mixy like this. And Standy won a big gunfight, which I thought Abizi was gonna get him right there with the
And
angle.
then number one dies again.
It's just
Mike
nonstop
does
trades.
in there. Yeah,
It's just nonstop
trades.
trades at this point. It all fucked up from that initial setup that they had when Mike was on the tank. He held the cross. That you have 2 people. It's like they're not talking to each other. You have 2 people in Minnesota watching shit that Mike already has. Then Mike ends up dying. It's a whole fucking clusterfuck. Bada bing, bada boom. Faze takes advantage of the mistake, and they're gonna punish you. And that's the thing. When you play Faze, you can't fuck up. You can't. Because they're gonna punish you. They're gonna take advantage of it, and that's what they did. And they came out. They won map number 1, and then we pushed it to a map number 2. Ben,
Yeah, well, people want me to go back and watch the P3 here, too.
what happened? Did Abizi do something crazy?
Yeah, it's not crazy. I'm just trying to find it. Just give me a second.
I remember what he did. He was in the back of the spawn. He started frying everybody. He was on a piece, and she was piecing up. Ben, what are you doing?
Give me a second. My video is like glitched, so I gotta
it's
refresh.
okay. It's okay.
Yeah, sometimes it breaks if I jog it too much. It gets like
okay.
all fucked up. So just give me a second.
You're good. Nah, Abizi was destroying though. That was a good streak. One thing about Abizi is like, bro, that guy he doesn't stop. That guy is the definition of a go button. Here it is right here. He does a great job finessing back here in this garage area of the map. They can't kill him. First he's tucked in a corner, and keep in mind I think he got a kill before this. He's tucked in a corner. He ends up getting a big kill in garage, and at this point he's by himself. His team's spawning across the map. He's the only one in position here, right? Abizi does just enough to somehow stay alive, picks up 1 kill, plays his life. All this time that he's wasting back here is opening gaps for his team. He's going completely off. He gets another one, and boom, the spawns come in from Atlanta Faze. Abizi absolutely clutching up, gets another 2-piece on hill. I mean, this guy's all over the fucking place. This fucking guy, he must be so annoying to play against. He's so annoying to play against. He's all over the place. He's hard to keep track of. He's always switching lanes, and on top of that, he has good movement. He has good gunny. I mean, he did a lot for his team right there. He stayed alive. He ended up flipping some of those spawns. They ended up keeping the game pretty close right there, getting some of that final time. So good play by Abizi, and good job by Faze to clutch up. I think Minnesota played well as well. I think all those guys played well. I think they just made some mistakes. I think they made a couple mistakes and ended up costing them. But let's go into the map number 2. We go into a raid S&D. Minnesota, they start off good. They start off 3-0.
They start up 3-0. I want to watch this round. It was a great kind of. I guess it was kind of an initiative fuse in this round, with just good awareness from Minnesota when Faze kind of played this a little bit weird at B and kind of pushed Tiki side.
Yeah.
But planted 4 bedroom, and Minnesota kind of pushed on the other side of that, and we're able to kind of get to the fuse and get off to a pretty good start here.
Yeah, Minnesota Rockers, they go 3-0, but after that, Ben, I mean, it was all Atlanta Faze. They won 6 straight. I mean, they just adapted to the game. They adapted to what Minnesota was doing. And again, not to gas up Faze, because every fucking time they play, it's like so hard to not talk positively about these guys because they're just fucking next level. They do a really good job of adapting to the map and seeing what Minnesota is doing and really figuring out what's the best way to counter these guys. This is a great play by Dylan.
No, this is perfect. This is really exactly what you need to do.
Yeah. This is a really good play. I mean, with his teammate distracting, he just hops on the bomb. Phaser, you know, they're not thinking about it. Attach makes a good heads-up play. But after this, it just fell apart, Ben. And why do you think it fell apart? Do you think it was just Faze adapting, or do you think Minnesota was fucking up? Like, what do you think?
I think it was Faze adapting. A lot of the early rounds, Faze was just not sure how to play with Minnesota being very passive in middle. And it seemed like Faze's strategy, and you would like the strategy, it seemed like they basically went the YOLO approach. Like they just started playing really aggressive in some of these rounds.
Very aggressive. Honestly.
And just singling out someone on the map and just getting an early pick and going up 4-3.
Yeah, honestly, I like what they did. I liked how they kept the aggression. I liked how they pushed out a lot of lanes. It just seemed like they didn't give a fuck. And that's kind of the mentality you want to have, that confidence. When you're playing with confidence like that, I mean, that's the best way to come back in matches like this when you're down 0-3. Just say, you know what we're doing is not working. Let's change up the pace. Let's put the pressure on them. Let's try and bring this back. And that's exactly what they did. 1 round at a time. Next thing you know, you're at a tie game at 3-3, and these guys do not let up. That was a very good retake by Faze as well. I like how they pinched from all angles.
That was Minnesota screwing up, though.
Yeah,
that was like Standy was overexposing himself to Art's side when he could have just tucked himself in the corner and helped his teammate hold the jungle side.
And I also don't like how they just stack one area of the map instead of pushing something out and trying to get more control. Like they just kind of pin themselves into back laundry, you know? Like they just pin themselves, and Atlanta Faze, they have all the control in the world. So, you know, it was tough. Beezy, he's running through pillars like he don't give a fuck. He's challenging everybody. You have RC's running mid-map. It's crazy to watch these guys play when they don't give a fuck. Celium popping 2. And that's another thing. The individual talent's always bailing these guys out. Whenever you need somebody to pop a 2-piece, no matter who it is on the team, they pop a 2-piece. You know
I think
what I'm
it was
saying?
Clinton Joe called this match, I think, and they said that like MC's S&D KD in this stage is like pretty wild. I mean, that was a huge kill there against a Priesta to kind of make this a 2v1. Could have played a totally different situation if Preston stayed alive there, and they had to kind of work more info A. And then Phases do a good job playing the post plan here and getting their 4th round in a row to go up 4-3.
Yep, they go up 4-3. They win the offense. They go back to the defense. They go up 5-3. I mean, these guys are just running through rounds at this point, right? I don't know if there's anything more that really caught your eye, Ben, but for me, it was just the aggression from Faze, and most importantly, getting that fucking bomb down. On offense, I like the way that they don't waste any time, Ben. They don't waste any time. How many times do you see a pro team wait till there's 20-30 seconds left, the time starts clicking down, and then they try and force plan it down, and they just have nowhere to go after the fact. Look, Faze right here, they're down a man, but they got the bomb down.
We skipped a round here, so BZ had gotten full streaks. He used one in the round before to win it. I don't know how attached to get this kill on RCDs. And ultimately, BZ's able to get a nice curve here on Priesta and Kitchen. And Faze kind of clutch up this 3v3 situation.
Yeah, Preston probably lost full right there when he died. He probably lost composure.
That was an excellent curve.
That was a great curve, and then the duo, BZ and Celium are up top. Cel makes a great challenge. I like how he jumps the corner and chows him. And they do a good job playing off each other here, making sure they don't die. And Celium's able to pick up 2. BZ with the distraction. MC getting fucking hyped. At this point, they're up 2-0. But Minnesota, Ben, they bounced back. They bounced back with a control win. You know, they showed that they still had more left in the tank. Again, this is why I think some of the guys from Minnesota started saying they think they could have won this series, because, you know, the first map definitely could have went their way. The S&D, they had a good start. Then they start slowing down. The control, they won. So talk to me a little bit about this Garrison control, Ben. What happened to Faze here? What happened with Minnesota? Why do you think the outcome was what it was?
I mean, I think we've seen a lot with these Garrisons is I think people get in trouble with their A setups. And I don't think it's just like an understanding of the map. I'm convinced it comes down to communication with a lot of these teams. And I wonder if Phases comms were not as good in this situation. They normally, oh, well, I wouldn't say normally. I mean, we saw at times last stage that this was kind of a trouble spot for them with this A brick setup and just figuring out who was picking up what and when to get aggressive, and we need to make sure we don't lose bricks. And they just got kind of in trouble. They got put in the blender with the deep spawns.
Yeah.
They do get a set of kills here to kind of clean things up a little bit, but ultimately Minnesota's able to rally back and force a round 5 here.
Yeah, Minnesota rallies back. They're able to get a good stack onto this 8 point. If I remember correctly, they get a lot of kills. They stack the point. It goes up at the speed of light. So it just goes to show how fast some of these points can go up if you have all 4 guys on it. I mean, bro, when you see how fast this point goes up, it makes you wonder why people literally just don't 4-stack points at all times. Like, you'll see people 2 and 3
That's
stack.
been my eternal question, Tom, since the beginning of the year.
Yeah. But I'm saying, like, even now, like, we've been talking about that in the beginning of the year because you only have 1 person on it. Right now, we're seeing people stack with 2 and 3. But sometimes, bro, if you can get 4 guys on this fucking thing, you get 4 guys on it. I mean, watch this. Watch how fast this point goes up. Watch this. This is insane. Look at that. It's going up at the speed of light. In 3 seconds, it's done. It's over. So it's like, if teams can really start focusing on that and really setting that stuff up, like, hey, that's the best way to play control for sure. So I think Minnesota did a great job bouncing back there. And, you know, they're probably feeling good going into this next hard point, but ultimately, Ben, they got shut down.
Yeah, we'll just watch the end of this control here for a second. I just want to give Minnesota credit for how they played really well on this defense. They actually stopped. So Faze actually like kind of 4 hits A off the break. They've done this a lot against teams where they just kind of solo that guy green. And Minnesota instantly reply, hit Faze with a nice little forward dead. They hold a spawn trap and they're able to win.
What happened right here with Simp and Abizi? They look like they didn't shoot back.
Yeah, I'm not really sure if they just kind of stopped shooting.
I think they were shooting. I think Abizi lost the fight, and I think Simp was shooting at the guy behind him.
Yeah.
So I just think it was just a good play out of Minnesota. They switched each other really well. I like that they waited for each other and they used their teamwork to break that setup because that could have went downhill. 2 ticks were already on A. They had a full stack. If they don't win those fights, this is a game over.
Just to touch on garrison control, because you were talking about how like a big thing that people mess up on is the setups on the A point. I think a lot of people prioritize the wrong stuff at times. So ideally, you obviously don't want them to get on the point. You don't want them to get out green. But when a team starts pressuring around your square, your P5 area, right around bricks, you just kind of need to have your player on point. Like just ignore bricks, like hide from it, and then just really focus on green. And like at that point, you have to get one. If they hit green, you have to get one. But your team needs to prioritize bricks because if you lose bricks, even if the guy wins the 1 fight green, he's getting pinched and you're spawning deep.
Yeah,
like
you're out of the play.
Brick is like the most important part of that entire A hold. And like you if they're pressuring it, you almost need to leave your guy on point and just hope that if they do flood it or 2 of them hit it, he needs to just get 1 and his job is done. But brick is the most important part of that for sure. And that's the thing that people need to stress out the most.
100%. Let's get aware say in the chat. This guy knows his shit, guys. Now, we go into a raid hardpoint. Ladies and gentlemen, Faze come out strong as fuck. They go up 80-30 off the rip. We do have a listening with Atlanta Faze. Let's tune in and see how they sound.
Yeah, let's double kitchen. He's one front pool. He's one front. We could have pushed out the back right there.
They did.
I'm watching Heady.
It's on the Heady.
Heady weak. He went to the back of the Heady. Lay down. In the back jungle. I spawned kitchen. It's hot. Keep blocking. There's spawn laundry maybe. Nice. Go get kitchen. Right.
I'm flash.
I get kitchen. Yeah, get my kitchen. I need over.
I have your kitchen, Alex.
I'm staying front. Yeah, I'm staying front.
I'm in front. I'm
Stand.
I have to block. I have your kitchen.
Right there. I get your front. I'm watching. I get your front.
Kitchen dead. One more kitchen.
I'm watching. I get your front. I'm laying away.
2 kitchen.
Good downhill, guys.
Kitchen dead.
I'm trying it. I'm watch out. Let it blow open.
Let's start going new.
Dude, MC is cracked.
I'll see Mike.
Mind blowing. Minnesota didn't even check the corner.
Open.
Yeah, it is a day 1.
Mike open.
They're gonna spawn the back.
Double open. Mike on you. Mike's on you. He's on below you, Blake.
Mike,
Nice.
I got you open.
They want
One's back kitchen.
Open dead.
One's back kitchen. Dead.
Oh shit, I'm bad. Laundry.
We're here.
I got it.
Alright, well, oh, I fucked it up. It sounds like they're trolling, to be honest. It sounds like they're fucking trolling. It sounds like they're just having a good time. They have a lot of energy. A lot of people say their comms are hectic, but I think it works for them. Like I feel like the comms, they just know what they're they know what they're saying. They know what they're saying, even if it sounds a little hectic. Even for me at first with MC, he was so cracked I couldn't understand what he was saying. But as time went on, I got used to it. I just always knew what he was saying. But the comms are good. What did you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, standard for Faze. Nothing different.
They always
Good
do a
shit.
good job of the small talk. Who's going to block in the back? Let's figure out how we're going to play mid-map. What's our plan? Like, they do the extras that you need to do to be a good team to make it easy for yourself in some of those mixy situations.
This map got mixy, though. It got mixy.
It got a little close here, but FaZe does a good job of setting up a P5 hold and closing this out. I think kind of next steps for both teams we're watching this map. I think for FaZe, they did the business they need to do, and they're going to be first seed going into the LAN. And then for Minnesota, I think had a great week. I think they've shown a lot of fight in the team. One of the teams I'm excited to watch, I think them and Florida, like the two teams I'm excited really to watch at this LAN and see if the other teams that take a big step up can be very competitive. I want to highlight especially because if Minnesota has a 2 seed in this group, I know that on the New York side, there's obviously the visa question with ASUM. Should New York have to pick up a substitute, Minnesota might get a pretty decent run here because they're going to be on the other side of the bracket where FaZe is at, the top side of winners.
Yeah, good job by FaZe here too to just get into this hill early, right? Get on those head glitches and just kind of work some kills. Good job out of them to close this one out and clutch up. But Ben, talking about ASUM and a little bit. Listen, man, ASUM doesn't have a lot of time. He's still in Toronto and he needs to be here in 3 days, 4 days. So who do you think should get that 14-day?
I think we need to get some Woomas in the YouTube chat for you to make your comeback.
I mean, are you being serious?
I am being serious. You want to do it?
Shit, I've thought about it.
If they offered it to you, would you do it?
Shit, I don't know.
All right.
I might be down. Bro. I might be down. I would have to
get
it.
Otherwise, they're spawning him a bobble. So
I'm trying to think about it. If they,
Listen, bro.
Obviously, Tommy, you'd love to play, but I'm trying to think of if there's any challengers that would play it, that would actually willingly do it.
Wait, somebody said Tommy's scared. Somebody said Tommy's scared. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I would 100% do it. Am I the best fit to do it? You know what I'm saying? Listen, I've been playing League Play. I've been playing COD, and using the controller, I feel good. I 100% feel like I could play. But I want them to be comfortable as well. If they feel like I haven't been playing COD enough or haven't been playing the game enough and maybe my knowledge of the game isn't really there or like my in-game knowledge, like if I'm watching, guys, it's a lot easier to watch a game and break things down.
Wake up.
But if you're fucking playing the game and breaking things down and working with teammates and stuff, like if I've been out of the game for a long time, it might be difficult for me, So I don't know if they're going to be into that, but maybe they don't give a fuck. Maybe they would give me a chance and just let me go rogue. Hey, if they give me the green light, hey, that's what I love. Bet, isn't that what I love? Hey, give me the fucking green light to do whatever the fuck I want. Forget it.
And you would get some scrim time because they're not going to play on the first day, so you would have until Friday, right? If they do get that first seed in that group. So for
the people in the stream looking at it from the outside in, they won't be able to get anybody from that's signed like as a sub to another team. I don't see like any of the teams doing that. It'd either have to be like Tom, it'd have to be like somebody that's a challenger.
Yeah,
like John or something.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
it's the thing. I don't know if any of those challengers would do it. Like I know it's New York. It's different. It's a different story than like, all right, you go play for LAG or Seattle or something. No offense, but I don't know.
Listen,
that's touchy.
Listen, if they want to hit me with a 14-day and they feel confident playing with me, I'm down.
What are we talking about here?
Zenny, how you doing? Welcome to the show. Hey, what's happening, kid? Welcome.
I'm assuming we're talking about if ASUM can't get over the border or something.
Yeah, right. Who do you think should fill in?
And that's an if, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me be the reasonable mind here. It will not be Zoomaa. I don't think. I don't think New York would do that. I would love to see it though, because what if you just got? What if you were out there just fucking fried? Like actually, like I'm talking like fried.
I mean,
like literally like top 3 sub in the game, back to fucking the old Zoomaa,
I want to see Sensor. I want to see Sensor.
Listen, one thing you can say about it is my hand's got a lot of rest. My hand feels good. I could probably go hard as fuck for a weekend, bro.
It'd probably be Nato, right? Unless
that's what I'm thinking. Maybe Nato.
They're not gonna switch roles and shit.
Nah, I'm thinking maybe Nato. Maybe John, maybe John. I don't fucking know. Diamond Con. They could play with Connor too. They could play with Diamond Con.
He can get over. He's in the same situation now. He's in Canada.
Oh fuck. So they can't pick up Diamond Con. Never mind.
Best
I don't know.
best subs in challengers right now are probably John. Oh, this is excluding subs. John, Nato, and
John.
yeah, I'd say it's them
Listen,
two
man,
are
we
probably
need
the best.
listen. We're going back to land. We need Asim to get here, man. We need to speak that into existence.
I mean,
Forget
Asim's
it.
been a huge part of your guys' team.
Oh,
Like he might
dude,
not get all the
he's-
shine that everyone else does, but he's been playing really well.
No,
and does
he's been getting
his
shine.
job.
He's been getting shine.
I'm
Everybody
saying
knows.
in comparison to everyone says Hydra. Oh my God, Max been playing like this, and then Clay, obviously, he's always the one that doesn't get as much shine as everybody else.
Yeah, I
but
mean,
he's been disgusting, like actually disgusting.
I think this year people have finally been giving Asim the credit he deserves. I think this
Yeah.
year people have been really gassing him up. I think you gotta gas up the whole New York team. These guys are fucking animals. But let's go into the next match. We got Dallas Empire going up against the Florida Mutineers. This was a big match for Dallas. They needed this shit, Ben.
Yeah, so Vito's a little bit interesting. Flores not played a lot of Garrison. Dallas has been really uncomfortable on raid. Dallas has been removing SND Moscow a lot in a couple of these series, so we ended up with a double checkmate in APOC and then Miami map 5. Teams opting not to play standoff in this series. So interesting how it played out, and as we expected, we got an absolute beamer of a series. Both teams had some great maps. Both teams had some maps they'd want to put in the bin and forget about, and ultimately, at the end of the day, the Dallas boys, and I think most of us picked Florida to win this. I think Nikki D picked Dallas. I think you and I picked Florida, and Nikki D
picked
picked Dallas.
Florida 3
right?
too, and I was wrong. They come out this first map. And they looked okay off the rip. Florida looked okay. They got this P2 spawns. They got this rotation.
Yeah.
It was really the second half of the game where Dallas just fucking exploded. I think it went back to P1, another rotation. Dallas was able to chain a couple hills together and really blow this game out of the fucking water. There was something that happened in the listening, and I think this was it right here. Or one of these listenings, or maybe it was on the second half of the game. It was when, unless it was, no, it was Hardpoint. It was Hardpoint. It was when Havoc was calling out that they could spawn in the back and nobody was turning, or somebody has to block. Did you guys hear the same thing I did?
No, but the lesson will start right now if we want to go ahead and pull it up.
Yeah, we could pull it up. We'll go on board with the listening and see how Florida sound.
Yo, there's 3 old. 4 all for there. There's 1 out.
I heard it.
Yo, I died, guys.
I can push up.
Watch midpoint. Yo, midpoint. Right wing.
Top lane dead.
What's going on right wing?
Heard it. Top lane, Shotzi.
Top playing Shotzi.
Going cabin.
He doesn't hold his
What do
cam.
you do, Crim?
Guys, I didn't watch it. Stay alive in the back. You have to stay alive. There's
Exit Shotzi.
Boom.
For sure.
Yep.
So exit then. I'm getting tower. Yo, back left. In time. He ran away. There could be 2 back there. There's probably 2. I'm gonna help you cut on watching it. Top right wing. One shot front. I need help in the back.
One shot front and behind the no man's box. And top lane.
You rarely see a team be able to really hold this hill from the front for a long time. So I think Dallas ends up kind of pulling off.
Waiting for you.
Yep.
They have a really good setup, but then they got cutting off.
I'll
from
lower it.
playing too.
I'll stop listening to it.
Yeah.
And that's where it fucked up. I think Havoc's first of all, Havoc didn't hold his cam. He knew he fucked up because he called it in the listening. He said, "Fuck, I didn't hold my cam." They make sure we're blocking the back. Make sure we're holding the back. They do the exact opposite. One guy runs away from the back. He runs all the way to that back street. You got a guy in hill, and then it's a guy from Dallas ends up getting that back radio spawn and killing him out of hill. And because of that, instead of Minnesota going up 100 points in this map, Dallas are able to tie it up and get rotation to next, and they just go crazy right here. They go crazy right here.
They flip him because if you actually watch how this kind of breaks down on the P1, off of his last death on the P5, you see number 7. Havoc actually hits long and goes all the way around and gets his team spawns for P2.
Yeah, it's a good play.
But I think they get broken right through the end of this P1.
They do, because I'm pretty sure Dallas takes a pretty hefty lead here. You have Awakening, who's the last guy here. You have all Florida spawning out. Dallas are getting those closed blue spawns, so they're able to turn around and kind of single this guy out. So Awakening just has a lot of work to do. He does pick up 1. How long does he stay alive here? He picks up 1. He's got 1 more guy to deal with. It's Illy. He's trying to hunt him down. Illy finds him. Bada bing, bada boom. How you doing? Dallas gets the spawns probably. Yep. Wow, that got close though. If number 6 was able to push up a little bit earlier, a little bit quicker, he probably would have spawned him out. But Dallas was able to keep those spawns, and I think right here is when Dallas took the game.
Yeah, Reese Vivid also made a good play there, coming up with spawn aiming left and taking out the guy who also is on the blue side of the map.
Yeah, Reese played good today, except for the 1 map. He went like 5 in a million.
Reese is in our chat saying we should skip over map 3. Sorry, brother. We'll talk about it.
Sorry, Reese. We got to talk about it. But you did do your thing. You did do your thing this series, except for that map. Except for that map, you didn't look your best. But it happens, Reese. You know, sometimes you can't get anything going, you know? Look at my tweet. It's comedy. What did you tweet?
I'll be right back.
Where you going?
Oh.
I gotta really use the bathroom.
All right, go ahead.
Jesus.
See, I got a new computer, guys. Look, a new computer. I'm not even signed into Twitter. What did he tweet, Ben? Read it.
We'll pull up Reese's tweet at the end. I just looked at it. It's a funny tweet, but we'll look at it at the end of the series.
Okay. I got a new computer, guys. I got to sign into everything. You know,
Did you guys see Sky? Well, Sky just dropped a tweet too.
Oh, yeah, he
4
dropped a
minutes
tweet.
ago. One of the timings on Check Apocalypse.
Yeah,
It's actually
we'll
pretty nuts.
we'll
Oh, yeah,
talk
we're
about
going to
that
talk
too.
about that.
We're
We're going to
definitely
talk about
that
Yeah,
one.
we saw this.
Yeah,
We saw this.
ultimately,
Oh,
look,
okay.
This was, you know, it was a great start from Dallas. They really needed that. I think, of the two teams, this was a must-win for Dallas. On the Florida side, I know that there's still some kind of movement that can happen here based on the New York series with Toronto, but for Florida, like, you know, if they had kind of lost this match and they feel pretty good about how they played in this stage, like for Dallas, they really need to win this and not go to back-to-back losers. I think it would have been really bad for the confidence, and they were able to ultimately clutch it up. And I think they still need Toronto to beat New York for them to lock in the 3rd seed, I believe.
Dallas needs that?
Yeah, I believe they need Toronto to beat New York, if I'm not mistaken.
Interesting. So there you go. The Clay and crew need to fucking turn the fuck up so Dallas doesn't get top 3. Dallas, they end up pushing through on the street hill. They end up flipping spawns. I mean, after that P1 and P2 rotation, a couple chains from Dallas, I pretty much thought that they had this in the bag.
Yeah.
Florida tried to scramble their way back into it, but I think in the end, Dallas, they were pretty comfortable through the rest of this map, and just stayed ahead of rotation, held their setups, and they were good to go, Ben. But if you want, I think we can go to the next map, unless you have something you want to talk about.
No, we'll skip to the next one.
Tommy is a hater? What do you mean? I'm not a hater. I'm a New York fan. What do you want me to do? I'm on New York. What do you want me to say? I hope New York gets shit on, so Dallas can go top 3. You happy now, asshole? My God. Fuck you. Going into the next map. We got Express S&D. Express S&D.
Yeah, this was a hot 6-0, Tom.
This was a hot 6-0. This was not a good one. What do you think it was?
I mean, I think Florida's been really hot in the S&D game mode, and Dallas had kind of no answer to the aggression that Florida had on this map. Ilian and Reese Vivid both had a breadstick. And as we've seen from Florida all year, they got a big game out of Awakening. I think he was just short of 10 kills. I just looked up, he finished 9-2 on this map. So after that slow start in map 1, where they lost by 90, Florida was able to come out and get the momentum back in their favor.
Yeah, they got the momentum back in their favor. I think they've always looked comfortable in S&D. They got a good S&D team, especially Awakening. This guy's a fucking different breed. This guy starts off 8-0. This guy's a different breed in this game mode.
What I would say, Tom, is like earlier in the year, Big Wig would drop like 12, 13 kills and they would lose round 11. And it was like often on checkmate. I feel like with adding Havoc to the team and the chemistry they have now, like there's just a lot of really good playmaking ability on this team, both with ARs and subs. On top of that, it seems like with the addition of Willett, I think their S&D game plans and just in general, I think their tactical awareness and improvement is like shown, especially in this game mode, and it's been more consistent. I think they really need this map when obviously they could not go down 0-2 to Dallas, and to come out and take a hot 6-0, I think is a huge momentum grabber.
Yeah, I thought they were going to run through this series after this. I thought, you know, the first respawn, they made a few mistakes. I think Dallas capitalized on it. And after a 6-0 in S&D, I thought they were going to ride this momentum and just close out the fucking thing. But Dallas, they just get absolutely steamrolled this map. But they do end up clutching up in the end. Dallas end up clutching up and doing what they got to do. But I think the main thing is what you said, Ben. I think the chemistry with this team in S&D, Florida, they just work really well off each other. I think bringing Havoc in has added a lot of aggression. And he's also very unpredictable. I like the routes that he takes. I like the risks that he likes to take on the map. You'll see him in people's spawns. You'll see him hitting routes and doing different stuff that a lot of people don't do. And I think that's what's always made Havoc such a good S&D player. Ever since the Black Ops 3 days when he was an S&D star streaming S&D tournaments and stuff. Like, he's just always had that S&D vibe to him. So, you know, he's always a fun player to watch. I think this whole Florida team's fun to watch in this game mode. And, you know, they take the map with ease. They go up 6-0. A couple off games from the Dallas members, but that's going to happen. You know, I think they just got blundered in this map. I think they got blundered, but then we go to a map number 3, Ben. This was a quick one. It's a quick 6-0, guys. Unless there's anything that you want to break down, I think Florida do a good job just staying aggressive. Staying aggressive, winning their ones. There wasn't anything that I think was like a wow factor. I think they just outplayed them and did their fucking thing. But then we go into a control, Ben. We go into a checkmate control.
Yeah, we'll watch the third round here because, as is on the show, you and I don't want to bore you guys with watching all defensive rounds on Checkmate Control.
It's
because
basic
snooze
shit.
fest.
Fill in the lanes.
We'll watch the lane. We'll watch the round where Florida wins, and again, they do a good job of getting play control, working in transition from A to B, stacking the B point, making it tough for Dallas, and continuing the good ride they had from map 2 to put Dallas to the death after map 3 and Florida go.
This is the first time I've seen this map in a long time. I feel like all we've seen is garrisons and raids.
I know Reese is in the chat, but Reese, you got shit on. All right, Reese, he went 5 in a million. He didn't get many kills this map. You know, I think he was just
got the damage glitch. It's all good.
Reese, you know what I think it was? You were just in the cycle, man. You know, you couldn't find your rhythms or your timings. You were in the cycle. It happens to the best of us. I think when you're in those moments, you just need to make sure you just really focus on your pre-aims and try and pick up some kills and just hit some shots. But you were in the fucking cycle. And that can happen sometimes when you got Crim6 yapping in your fucking ear like a fucking asshole. Like,
oh, what the fuck are you doing? I'm smoking a fucking bong after this shit, man. What the fuck are we doing?
You know what I'm saying? This guy's a fucking psychopath. He's a fucking psychopath. So sometimes when you hear that shit in the back of your head, you're like, my God, I can't fucking focus. It happened when I was playing on Optic. I hit something in S. He told me to watch something in S&D. Or no, he didn't say anything to me. I did something. He goes, why the fuck are you watching back alley? I said, Porter, I don't play for your fucking team. I don't know what you want me to do. You know what I'm saying? He goes, oh shit, you're right. My bad. I said, this guy's a fucking maniac. What are you gonna do? You know, what are you gonna fucking do? But Florida, I like the way they played this. I like the way how they got the kills. They worked the stack. They got the point, and they didn't rush anything. You know, they slowed it down. They played their kills, and that's what you want to see out of them. Use your teamwork. Use your trades. And don't rush anything. I think Neptune, he'd be doing backflips off the fucking wing 2 weeks ago or a month ago. Now he's playing with his team. He's hitting routes. He's working off one another. Their comms sound a lot better. So Florida do a good job using their streaks. They were able to get a few streaks. Skies was able to pick up a couple. Yeah. And they just stack onto this B point and close out this offensive round.
The rule of Checkmate offense is you need to control the map, not the map control you. If you let the map slip away from you, then you get stuck in a spawn trap and then good luck winning that round. If you control it, then you get in situations like this where you have to cut off the plane because they're spawning deep wood and you're stacking the B point, you're making it easy. It's obviously a lot easier said than done. But Florida's able to execute it and they close it out in the 4th round to go up 2-1 the series.
What was that quote? What was that quote you just said?
You need to control Checkmate and not let Checkmate control you on offense.
No. You said the map. Yeah. You said you got to control the map and not let the map control you. That's what you said. Write that down, guys. Write that down. That's wisdom coming from Ben J. Nassim, guys. We got to quote that. Hey, Zinni, what the fuck is your problem?
If you had to take one guess as to what I've been doing, what would you say?
Eating froyo?
Not froyo, but eating, yes.
Whacking off.
No, eating.
Oh.
Well, your voice is good to listen to when I do that. I enjoy that. What?
Wait, what?
I gotta stop with him. I gotta stop with this shit, man. My clips are going viral on Twitter and shit. I really gotta tone it down these days.
Yeah, my dad heard a clip actually.
No, what the Pierce one?
No. I said something about. I said what the fuck or something. You said I want to fuck you. That's what you said.
Whoa, what do you say?
And my dad said, and he actually said your name right. He said, what the fuck is wrong with Zinni? The fuck is wrong with this fucking guy? He's sick in the fucking head. I said, I don't know, Dad. He's fucked up. He's fucked up. You know, what are you gonna do?
Anyways, I just finished my food, so now you have my full-fledged attention. What's up?
What did you eat?
Some grilled chicken, some truffle mac and cheese, and some tahini cauliflower.
My God.
Truffle mac and cheese. Okay.
I had steak kebabs.
Portion control, though. Okay.
I had steak kebabs with we could listen. We could talk about other shit. I had steak kebabs with some peppers and onions and a nice Greek salad and some pita bread.
Oh, okay.
And some hummus on the side.
Kebabs are great, but I hate the actual kebab stick part of it.
No, you just take the fork and take everything off of it.
Yeah, but it's a hassle. That takes at least a minute.
Yo, pussy.
Tom, when I open that food, I want to get right in. It takes a lot of self-control to sit there and fucking...
it takes 2 seconds.
To deep throat the whole kebab. What the hell, Stoned?
Okay, come on. Let's go on to the next map. Apocalypse Hardpoint. Ben, you're just going to skip all the way to the end.
No, I want to watch these next 3 hills back to back. So we're gonna watch. I'm just gonna kind of preview what's happening here. So we're gonna watch Florida get a nice Holden's P5. We're gonna watch the craziest timing I've ever seen happen on the transition from P1 to P2, and then we'll watch how the map closes out.
Sound good? Sound good to me, Ben.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Staring at the mini map.
Yeah, stare at this shit. First of all, nobody's watching mid map. So Havoc runs right up mid-map and gets a free kill. I don't know what the fuck they're doing because two people
There's
from
a lot
Dallas
of
looking
like
at the same thing.
transitional weird spawn stuff going on the end of that P4, but yeah.
Vivid's left by himself, said, fuck, you guys just fucked me. So Florida, they're able to break on in. They're able to break on in with 45, 50 seconds. Dallas absolutely trolled. They didn't look like they communicated with each other. Or maybe,
you wanna know what it was?
maybe
They
it's just
tried
their
way
positioning.
too hard to make that setup work. What they were doing, the back-to-back, they tried way too hard to make that work. They made it way more complicated than it needed to be.
Yeah, it was a weird setup. I think Dallas could have closed this one out, but there was definitely a weird timing at the very end that we'll obviously look back on. But Florida do a good job working a break. It was a little bit of a fucker from Dallas, but I also think Florida did a good job working all the lanes and picking up the kills and getting a break. So they end up breaking it. We go back into P1. Again, you got number 7. Look at him go. Number 7 trying to make moves around P2. That's the biggest gunfight you'll see at the top of your map. You have number 4. That's going to be Vivid. He gives it up. I mean, at this point, he's kind of chalked. I think when his team goes down, Vivid's just trying to play his life. But Havoc, he makes a good heads-up play. And notice how Havoc waits, guys. He doesn't just run. You guys say timing, like Joel. See Joel in the chat saying the timing. I personally...
you'll see the timing in a sec.
I personally think that right there, Havoc made a good play waiting because he waited till his team got kills because he knew that guy was going to give that up. Sometimes these timings are calculated.
So
but
watch
not
what
this
happens.
one. But
Watch
not
what
this
happens with
one.
1 and 7 here.
This one was fucking crazy. You have number 1, you have Shotzi and Havoc in P2. Unfucking real.
They literally
Unreal.
run by each other in the pillar.
There was a little pillar that they both run by. One goes right, one goes left. And just the cameras, bro, they don't see each other. First of all, I don't know how Havoc didn't see him, but they didn't see each other.
That's the game right there.
Oh, yeah. And then because of that, Dallas gets the spawns. They get the spawns right here. Look, they run right by each other.
Yeah, I don't know. I actually don't know how I didn't see him. He might have been looking to the right. Reese said, by the way, he gave up the right side of the map because he expected his team to spawn behind him. Just got interesting timing.
Yeah, makes sense.
But
Just bad
Shotzi,
timing.
he sneaks through by accident, and because of that, Dallas spawns there.
The worst part is he just needs to sit back there.
I make that mistake a lot in this game where like your teammates die, you start pushing up expecting them to spawn behind you and then they don't and you're like, oh fuck me.
Oh, I've stopped doing it until I see my boys spawn next to me. Then I'm gone, bro.
Yeah,
It's really the worst feeling in the world when that happens.
Yeah, and then at this point it's wraps. Dallas has the spawns. They only need a few more points to win, and they end up winning the map. So good plays out of Dallas. I mean, the timing helped them at the end, but I also think they trolled. I think they should have closed this one out. But we go into a game 5. And, this is a big map for Dallas if they want to see top 3.
Another game 5 Miami on back-to-back days.
Yeah,
I feel like we see these.
And listen, everybody's always saying I'm hating on Dallas. They played great this map. I think Dallas came to play this map number 5. I think they got some icy players. I think when you got a team like this, you got Shotzi, Illy, Krim, and Vivid. Listen, you got an icy team, man. These guys know how to clutch up. These guys have won the biggest tournament of the year last year. I think these guys are ready to go. And Crimsix was picking up a couple kills mid-map, and they were all doing their thing, finding blood. So, Ben, Parasite, Zin, anything that caught your eye in this game, map number 5?
I wasn't watching.
I didn't get to watch it either.
All right.
So
All right.
Well, I did watch it, and I will tell you that this round Neptune goes massive, but there were a couple of rounds that happened in the middle of the map. We'll watch round 6 in particular, where I think
shots
just
here
some
from Crim6, this fat bastard.
There's some decision making from Florida gets in the way, and Dallas just kind of runs away with the map after that. They're able to close it out.
Yeah, they closed it out. There's definitely a couple rounds I want to check out through the end, but good spot by
Neptune makes a good play here. I mean, he just kind of gets by alley and plays his corner in garage. They just have no idea he's here. Shoots a couple guys in the back, ends up getting 3 kills in the round. It was just a really sick play out of him. Yeah. It's been fun to watch him sort of grow and bloom as a Call of Duty player. He'll only get better with time. Plays like this, I think, are going to be the norm with him.
Yeah, it was a great play. It was a great play.
I really like his patience because most people would have, like, let's say, pushed through at some point and tried to like flank, and I think he was there for the majority of the round, which is, it shows a lot of patience in him. Yep. Which I think is, if anything, you like to see out of your newbie joining the team, or like the newcomers. That's like the hardest thing to develop as like a COD player is the patience.
Yeah, knowing when to slow down, knowing when to speed up. I think that's what Simp does really well. I think that's what makes him so good. But then we go into another round. Dallas are able to bounce back with an offense of their own and a defense. So they go up 2-1. They actually go up 3-1. Dallas start to take this game away very quickly. It gets away from Florida very fast. Dallas starts winning some rounds. Neptune again making plays. If I remember correctly, is this the last round Florida wins?
No, I think Florida actually loses this round. I think Florida lose the next two, and I forget if it ended 6-2 or 6-3.
I think it was 6-2.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
6-3. I think Florida loses. This is a round where Florida loses. This is a weird round where a lot of crazy stuff happens.
Well, listen, on Miami S&D, guys, defense, look at Dallas. They're doing the basic fucking setup, but nobody's watching the middle of the map. How do you let people waltz to the middle of the map like this? First of all, I thought Havoc was going to assassinate him. But Dallas do a good job here clutching up. They do a good job. Havoc was able to come in from behind. He gets a kill, but they end up falling apart here. Neptune tries to go a little fucking rogue. He tries to jump off the rails. He ends up getting taken down. Then Shotzi makes his move on the pinch. At this point, it's a 2v2 situation, but Dallas, they're pinching on in, and Florida, they don't know where anybody's coming from, and they end up picking up the kills and winning this round. But it was a good try, good effort out of Florida to try and win the offensive round. I think once Shotzi got that kill right there, it was all over. But the main thing that I want to say Miami S&D defense is that the setups are pretty much the same, man. You got a guy in the back spawn building. You got a guy pushed up boat on beach, so nobody can get through mid or A, except for right there, because I don't know what Dallas was doing. And then you got two guys most likely playing purple, playing B-side, and then they play off their info. Crim6 went rogue this round. Crim6 made a fantastic play. I want to
watch these two kills that he got too. That's why I backed it up.
Fantastic plays out of Crim6. He goes balls to the wall. This fucking guy said, you know what?
It's a good gunny.
I'm going to do it myself. He beams Sky's mid-map. He turns. He beams Neptune off the heady. This is vintage Crim6. I love to watch this guy fry. Yeah, I love to watch this guy fry because he has it in him. He has it in him to do shit like that. So when he starts hitting form, this is what I want to see from these Dallas guys. Everybody's always saying I'm hating. I just see a lot more potential with these guys. I see a higher ceiling than what they've shown. But I think this map 5 they came out and they show what they're capable of doing. And Florida is definitely a good S&D team. So, you know, I was very impressed to see Dallas push this to a game 5 and to clutch it up like this. Was good plays out of them, Ben.
Yeah, I think Dallas winning here. Is that correct? It was, people were saying it was 6-2. I mean, Florida gets themselves trapped at B. Not really much they can do. Dallas slowly sets up the pincer movement here. They're able to pinch in and close this out.
Yeah, they fill in the lanes. They play their information, and they pin Florida in the fucking hole. And they can't go anywhere. So that's what I thought it was 6-2. That's what I said before. It was like, I'm pretty sure it's the last round. Florida fucking, they don't get any more rounds after that. But Dallas Empire, they end up getting a big win. Congratulations to them. They're trying to get that top 3 spot. We could pull up the standings, Ben, and take a quick look and kind of see.
I sent you in Discord.
I got it already. It's right here.
So I believe the situation for Dallas, right, is they need Toronto to win for them to lock in the 3 seed because of how the tiebreaker would work out.
Why is Dallas not above Florida right now? Wouldn't they technically be above them with the head-to-head?
This website gets really funky when not all teams are on the same number of games played.
Yeah, I know, but Florida and Dallas are both 3-2 right now.
But it's probably just the cascading tiebreakers and the way the website logic works. I don't think it's correct.
It doesn't go by map count or something weird?
I mean, if it was a head-to-head, Dallas would be in 3rd. But I just think the website's, again, just really weird because you have 2 teams at the top that have played 4 games and everybody else has played 5.
Oh, okay. But yeah, this gets really mixy, Ben. I think that was a huge win for Dallas. Huge fucking win. I think if they would have lost that, it would have put them in a tough spot. I'm looking at Group A too. We got some good matches being played tomorrow because Group A is getting close as well, Ben.
Yeah, I'm going to be really excited to see what happens with Optic and Thieves tomorrow. It's a big momentum game for both teams. Thieves would love to grab a W before they land with the new squad. And for Optic, man, they lost to Seattle. Really don't want to get kind of 2 bad losses on their radar. I'm not really counting the Faze loss against them. To go 2-3 would be really tough for them. Again, also going to land. So a lot on the line tomorrow in Group A and in Group B.
Well, if I'm pretty sure if Surge beat Legion and Thieves beat Chicago, they're in, right? In winners?
Who?
Thieves are in winners, right? If they beat Chicago and then Seattle beat Paris, I think so. Thieves take winners, right?
I believe that's a scenario. I'm just trying to do it in my head. I think you're
right. Hopefully Seattle beats Paris then, because I think that'll be a super fun match. New Thieves versus Optic. Winner gets winners bracket.
Well, let's get right into predictions. Let me find the card here with the matches real quick. If you want to fill for a sec, Tom, while I do this.
Yeah, I can fill. How you guys fucking doing? Zin, what did you do today, asshole?
I played the Challengers Cup all day.
Did you get shit on?
We lost. We got reverse swept to lose about 20 minutes ago, 30 minutes ago.
You still on Sunday or no?
No. That was for top 8.
Hey, Zin, can I ask you a question?
Jesus fucking Christ.
What's up?
You got to change up the squad. You got to change it up.
How the fuck do you want me to respond to that?
I don't know. I'm just saying, I'm giving you advice. You gotta change it up.
Thanks for your input, Tom.
You gotta change it up, man. It's gotta change it. You guys gotta go. You guys gotta talk as a team, and people gotta go elsewhere. Listen, I'm just being honest. You know, I feel like you guys are always losing, and I feel like you guys are always losing.
We had a new team, Nato sketched, and we had to get back with our boys.
Who the fuck is your team now?
Back with Timmy and Dylan.
And who? Slacked?
And Jerry, yeah.
Oh, you guys went back.
Yeah.
Oh, so you guys broke up and then went back?
Yeah.
Oh, man, on this challenger scene, I'll tell you what. These guys are all over
miserable.
It is.
Where the fuck did Saints
might be the
go?
worst time of my life. He's with JT. We talked about this. You have memory loss. You Dory. It's him, Lamar. It's him.
Lamar,
it's
JT,
him. Yeah, exactly. Thank Jesus Christ. You really wanted to get that out.
No, I mean you hesitating. You couldn't find the words.
Jesus Christ, you really wanted to tell him.
That team's pretty good. It's not bad.
Yeah, no, they got a solid team.
How'd they do today?
I think they're. Well, if
they
we
went
won, we
last
would have
map
played
with
them.
Doug. They went last map with Doug, didn't they?
Did he go last map?
Yeah, they went last map with Doug.
The challengers thing is weird because it's legitimately a competitive host fucking thing where if you get put on a super dirt host, there's not much you can do.
It's actually dumb.
Obviously, you have teams that are better than others, but like, bro, you put a team on 100 ping, win a rotation, it becomes a completely different game.
Yeah, no, that's stupid as fuck. That's stupid as fuck. But let's get into listen, Zin, I wish you the best of luck. You know I'm always rooting for you. I just want to see I want to see you win. You know what I'm saying, Zin? I want to see.
Listen, I can rant to you all day long. I'm very annoyed. I think it's one of my. Never mind.
I know, Zin. I know. It's one of my big games. Let's go into the fucking predictions for tomorrow. We got Seattle Surge going up against Paris Legion. This map doesn't mean anything. But who do you guys got? I got fucking Seattle 3-2.
No, it does mean something.
It does.
It affects the Optic at least. If Surge beat Paris and Thieves beat Optic, then Thieves get winners. But if Paris win, Thieves can't get winners.
I'm thinking mainly for champs. You know, that's what I was saying. You know, mainly for like.
Oh, of course. Oh, yeah.
You know, I'm saying that, you know. But yeah, in terms of like being winners, yeah, you're right. Who do you got? I got Seattle Surge winning 3-2. I feel like they're feeling hot after a big win against Optic Chicago.
I got Seattle 3-1.
Nice, I like that.
I'm gonna go with my boys on Paris. Got some good people over there. I'm gonna say they're gonna win 3-2.
Depends.
I'm saying Seattle. I think they looked pretty good, Mr. Hillman, in this past series. So maybe they'll ride that momentum. Who knows? I'm saying
needs
Seattle.
To keep doing his thing. If Octane plays how he did against Optic, they're good to go. If not, then Paris are gonna win. Because I also think Paris has a pretty good roster going into this matchup as well. So we'll see. We got Asim in the chat saying Seattle 3-2. Thank you, Asim. We appreciate your prediction. You're a little fake for not joining us today, but what are you gonna do? Next, we go into Toronto Ultra versus the New York Subliners. I think New York Subliners are gonna fucking have these guys. Not because I'm biased. I just think they're gonna fucking shit on them.
I think you're wrong. Not because I'm biased, but I think Ultra is undoubtedly the second best team in the game still. You have to give it to Faze. You got to think. Last major, Ultra lost twice, both times to Faze.
Realistically, Zin, what do you think it's gonna be? I think it's gonna be 3-2. I think it's going down to the wire.
Yeah. I think Ultra 3-2.
All right. Ben, who do you got? What the fuck is Ben doing? He's jumping around with his headset off.
Listen, I just spilled a White Claw over my desk. I'm sorry.
You're a fucking asshole.
Wait,
you know
hold on. How is Soap saying I'm drunk? You're gonna tell me New York are the clear-cut favorites in this match? You're out of your fucking mind. If anything, I would say Ultra the favorite.
Listen, I talked to Paco today, and he said he's gonna shit on those clowns. I'm just kidding. He didn't say that. I don't even think he could say that. He just fucking said he wants to beat the EU guys. Oh, he said that in his interview, did he not? In the interview, he said that he wanted to beat the European guys. So shout out to my man Paco. But hey, listen, I'm clearly biased, you fucking assholes. You guys saying biased. No fucking shit. No fucking shit. But New York is.
Oh, that's why. Okay, never mind.
What?
So Adam and Soap are all on the call with Asim right now, sucking him off. So they're in here saying I'm insane for saying. Never mind. Yeah, okay. I was just making sure.
Yeah, you suck a lot of people off, Zin.
I had to scroll off. I would suck you off.
Zin, come on, Zin. What
You're
the fuck is wrong with you? You're an asshole.
You're asking
You know
for it.
You're
asking for it.
Zin, I'm not asking for it. You're the fucking.
Yes, you were.
Yeah,
you were asking for it.
This fucking cocksucker. I can't stand this fucking guy.
Get back on topic, guys. Come on, man.
I said New York 3-2.
Ben, I'm the one who fucking asked you for your predictions, and you didn't even give it to me.
Yeah, because I had spelling my claw. Anyway, I think it's gonna be an interesting series. I think one of the bigger developments in this series is New York's actually kind of turned the control game around a little bit. So, very curious how the vetoes are going to go in this series. Man, it's so hard to pick. This is definitely a game fiver. But ultimately, I'm going to pick the team that I think's probably got the most ice in Game 5s. I'm going to go with the team that beat FaZe round 11. I'm going to go with the New York Subliners taking us 3-2.
I like that, Ben. Parasite, who do you got?
I said New York 3-2.
I like that. I like that a lot, guys. You know, it's regardless.
The series could go either way, though.
Regardless,
I won't be surprised.
Regardless, I think it can go either way. I think it's going to be a great series. But then we're going to the Game Fuel marquee match of the day. LA Thieves going up against Optic Chicago. We got Kenny going up against Formal. We know that there's internal beef here, ladies and gentlemen. We're ending with a big one tomorrow. Personally, I think Optic are going to come out on top, but I think LA Thieves are going to have another blender. I think they're going to keep it really close. I think they're going to they're going to really fight for it. They're going to battle. It's going to be a fucking war zone. But I think it's going to be 3-2 Optic Chicago.
Ben?
That's fair.
Ben, you going to fucking step up to the plate and say something?
I'm thinking because I honestly don't know who to pick in this series, man. Like,
I need to see more from 100 Thieves. LA Thieves. LA Thieves. It's so hard.
I don't. Optic. This is the kind of team where Optic will show up to play. I like Thieves, but something's telling me that I think Optic's going to clutch this one up. It might be kind of a real mixy series, but I'll say that Optic's going to take this in a last map in Game 5, 3-2.
We need a boxing match between Formal and Kenny. Like these
We'll
fucking
be a good boxing
YouTubers,
match.
like these YouTubers and these TikTokers. I'm telling you, people play serious cash to watch some of these cop pros go at it. Zinni, who do you got?
Shit, I really don't know, man.
We already know Optic.
I'm not going to give you my opinion then, because you want to be a dick.
Dude, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Why
You want your LMAOs in the chat. Everybody spam LMAO for him so he gets a fucking grin on his face, and then I'll give you my prediction. So my
What the
prediction
fuck
is.
are you talking about?
My
Zin?
prediction is Optic 3-0 Green Wall.
Okay.
All right, Parasite, who do you got?
I usually, have no problem giving a prediction, but I can't even call this one. Like, I've just seen, I saw Optic lose to Seattle, and I saw Thieves, who didn't look terrible in their last matchup, with room to improve with a good team. So, I have no idea. I really wish I could give you an answer.
I think it's going last map.
Me too.
I'm gonna give the edge to Optic now because I'm sure they're about to come into this. I mean, winners. So I think I saw someone in the chat say Thieves have to win 3-0 if they want to take winners bracket. So obviously Optic's doing whatever they can to stop that from happening.
Yeah.
Can
we see the COD champs thing where all Optic needed to do was win? Oh fuck, you were on that team. Oh fuck, my bad.
Why? How am I catching strays?
I forgot you were on that team, Zin. I forgot.
How am I catching strays?
Fuck, my bad, Zin. Fuck. Now I feel like a fucking asshole, Zin. You know, now I feel like a fucking asshole.
Oh, that's only if Paris. Okay, so if Paris win and Thieves win 3-0, then Thieves get in. If Surge win and Thieves win outright, then Thieves are in. So Optic's pretty much coming crazy. They just lost to Seattle. They're probably pissed off. I'm gonna say 3-2 Optic just because of the lack of play time Thieves have had. Would they've had like a week of practice? Not even.
Not much. Probably a week, or a week and a half. I don't really know, but
and I've heard they've been like okay in scrims. Like they're not like letting out the world. Like all these guys are really on the honeymoon.
2 days.
It's gonna take a little bit of stuff. With them, I expect them. They're a team that's going to take a lot of use of their land practice next week to get a lot better. Would love to see Thieves come in with the. We've talked a lot about Optic's weakness is a lack of tactical depth. This is where Cap and I think Norvis is their analyst. Would love to see them step up with a really elite game plan here and see if they can take it to Optic. I'm very, very curious how the series will play out.
Yeah, I think that's gonna do it today for the predictions. But ladies and gentlemen, you already know what time it is. It's time for the flank Q&A. I posted something on Reddit today, and we're gonna go through some of these questions. Obviously, these are coming from the fans. So let's see what you guys had to say, because I have not read any of these. Do you think having multiple coaches similar to the Faze setup will become a norm in the years to come? Yeah, I think as time goes on and more players start to, more veteran players start to get whittled out of playing, I think a lot of these vets will be good assets to a lot of these franchise teams. You want people that have been playing the game for a long time to fucking get in on the back end of some of these franchises and help these guys win. So I think at the end of the day, I think the franchise is still too early. That's why you don't see a lot of teams doing that shit. But now that you see Faze doing it and it's working out for them 100%, as long as some of these franchise teams want to fucking win, they'll go out and get more coaches. What do you guys think?
I mean,
Honestly,
go ahead.
No, I blacked out. I was literally reading the chat and something. Somebody said that the CDL tweeted the scenarios for tomorrow.
So here's my thoughts on this. I think this will be the future. Again, we've talked about how they're just coaching depths and just a lot of other factors right now is why some of these staffs are still trying to figure things out. I think FaZe have figured out that one, having 2 coaches helps a lot with sort of managing practice. Having an S&D coach come in and purely run that game mode and game plan and work through all of that has helped turn their game down tremendously. And they have one of the best analysts in the game in Easy Mac helping out with all of the stat tracking, the deeper analysis that he does in terms of what other teams are doing. I think that that'll be the norm. It's just going to take a minute for all the talent to circulate and make it way into CDL teams.
Anybody else want to add before I go on to the next one or what? All right, sounds good. Give me a call back. Zoomaa,
no, you're good.
It feels like every year people critique Optic and say they lack fundamentals and need more teamwork. Is this true? And if it is this a scump and formal issue or a wider issue? And what can they do to change it? One, I would like to add, whenever a team struggles, for the most part, it's usually because of the fundamentals and little things. So I think because Optic's one of the most popular teams, it just feels that way. Like, I feel like when they struggle, people talk about their fundamentals, it might feel repetitive, but that's because every time Optic struggled, that's all people want to fucking talk about. Literally.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
I think it's like a cop
sorry,
out. I'm sorry. Fundamentals are basically just fucking making mistakes on the map. There's always going to be a team. Like, the way pro teams lose are those minimal, super small mistakes, and that's what people talk about when they talk about fundamentals. So I feel like any team can say, oh, we're lacking fundamentals when they lose. I feel like that's just like the easiest cop-out type answer. My answer to this question is I think everybody overthinks Optic's problems because it's Optic. Everybody wants to have an opinion.
Yeah.
There's a different problem on the team every other day. There's no winning. There's just nothing.
Yeah, I was going to say the reason people say that is because they look at the roster and they say, oh, they're all super talented. How do they lose? That's literally why people say, oh, so it's not their talent, it's their fundamentals. But
well,
fundamentals transcends to talent.
Too.
Yeah, fundamentals transcends to your talent too. It's not like you're not just good because you can shoot straight. Every pro in the league can hit shots, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Obviously there's some that are better at it than others, but that's not what makes you a pro.
Yeah.
It's everything else.
I disagree with this. I think we can go back quite a few games and step through their tactics and why I think that they're just not. The last 2.5 years, they haven't been the team that's setting the meta. And I think that's where they're getting in trouble. They're just not getting ahead of other teams. The one time they were ahead was at the beginning of Black Ops 4, where they had a really good mastery of how to work the specialist and they hit the front of hills, and then teams kind of adapted, the meta shifted, and they really struggled to stay up. And the last 2 games, yeah, they had a really good start last year when they went to that London event, but then they struggled at the Atlanta event, losing to Florida, and then we're kind of up and down since. And then this year, they've kind of faded. So I just want to see them kind of get back to when they had Damon and they had Crimsix on the team. They were getting ahead of teams and pushing the meta. They're not really doing that right now.
They just don't innovate.
Yep.
At all.
Yeah, they don't innovate. Listen, I think they're a good team, but I think every team that's struggling has their problems. I just think Optics talked about the most, so a lot of those problems, usually when a team is struggling, they usually stem from the same problems. So that's just my input on it. But would you rather fight 5 standy-sized sillies or 1 silly-sized standy? First of all, enough with these fucking questions. What's wrong with you fucking ass?
Can we skip that question?
One silly-sized
I'm
standy.
answering this. I would fucking Sweet Chin Music a silly-sized standy, and I put him in the walls of Jericho. That guy would not be able to walk after I'm done with him.
All right.
Okay, moving on.
Sounds good. Moving on to the next question. Do you think Draza should be brought in as an SMG considering TJ's performances and Draza running it in challenges? Or should this set 4 be let to play out for the major?
I don't think Thieves is gonna make a change. I think Draza is gonna have more opportunities in the CDL. I think he played fine on the Thieves team. I just think a lot of combination of factors is why he's not in the lineup right now. He's got a good career ahead of him. He's just got to stay patient, play well in challenges here. If he gets a chance on Thieves, great. If not, I think he'll find his way on the CDL team next year.
Yeah, he should.
Fantastic.
He's disgusting.
Sorry if I feel like I'm skimming through these questions. Gizmo, I think he has to take a shit. He's farting, he's whining, and I feel really
we'll take
bad.
2 more and then we can dip.
What do you think New York will use as a substitute if ASUM can't
We
make
already
it? We already talked
that.
about that. It's gonna be me. How you doing? What would be your ideal ranked play for COD? Like, what would you do to make it unique rather than a copy paste from Black Ops 2 or World War 2? Bro,
I don't need to make it unique.
Yeah,
there's a lot of good ranking systems out there. If you want to guys
just copy and fucking paste.
Yeah.
It's really that simple.
Yeah,
everyone was asking for an elo-based ranking system. Everyone was hoping for an elo-based ranking system, and then they gave us fucking league play.
They gave us a bunch of garbage. Let's be honest. I mean, right now there's no ranking system. There's no nothing.
It's not easy. Like, to play devil's advocate, I feel like it's a new game every year. So like, it's not you know what I'm saying? Like all these other. Correct me if I'm wrong. All the other games with ranked play.
They're bouncing.
A good ranked play.
Yeah.
It's just not a 1-year cycle, right? I could be wrong, but like I feel like it's not necessarily easy for a new developer every single year.
They did it before. They did it before. Yeah. And then on top of that, Activision and Blizzard, they share a freaking game in Overwatch, obviously. It's completely different teams, so like obviously it's not the same, but they share a game in Overwatch, you know, by the same publisher that uses an ELO-based ranking system. Every other game that isn't a BR uses an ELO-based ranking system. It's pathetic and it's unacceptable. There's no excuse for it.
A lot of the issues they have with ranked play is that they're rolling it out in the middle of the game cycle, so the population of people in that matchmaking hopper is very low, which makes an ELO-based matchmaking system very tough. If they would roll it out at the beginning of the year, I would think you wouldn't have that problem. But I understand from the developer POV, a lot of the issues they deal with the structure of league play. We just need to get it when the game launches, and it would solve a lot of those problems.
That's a good question. What do you think your FaZe team saw such a steep? Why do you think your FaZe team saw such a steep drop off going from AW into Black Ops?
Move your mic a little bit closer.
Sorry, I got the fucking dog on my lap.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good.
I think the main. Did you hear the question? Why do you think your FaZe team saw such a steep drop off going from AW to Black Ops 3? I think it was just egos. I think we were all fucking pricks. Nobody wanted to listen to each other, and we just couldn't get on the same page. I think that was mainly it. I don't think we were a bad team, but I don't think we were a good team. I think it was just like, you know, we were just average. And for, you know, our expectation of winning 3 out of the last 4, I think a lot of people saw us going in that year just dominating, and it was the exact fucking opposite. So we, you know, we had our moments and we shined sometimes here or there, and you know, we tried to stick together and work it out. But at the end of the day, it didn't fucking work. I think we just couldn't get on the same page. I don't think it had anything to do with talent. I was also a fucking asshole, but what are you gonna do? Question for Ben here. What is your opinion on what teams outside of the top 8 should be doing?
By the way.
Okay, question for Ben here. What is your opinion on what teams outside of the top 8 should be doing? More specifically, ones that aren't in the hunt to make champs. Rotate a roster out continuously, trying to find a good mix/perfect fit, or keep a current roster and try to get them more experience and synergy. Also, what are your feeling on essentially a mini play-in tournament for the teams to make it to champs?
So 2 questions there. So first question on like the teams outside the top 8. I'm not sure what the roster lock rules are, so it's kind of hard to answer that question. But it is a tough balance. Do you like try out a roster for next year? Do you fully chalk it? Is prize money still? I think you keep it with the rosters and you grind it out and see how far you can get.
Rosters locked for stage 5.
Okay. The second question about a mini play-in tournament, it's an interesting idea. I know the NBA is a league that kind of tried it out. I don't know with a 12-team league you necessarily need to do that. If there were 30 teams, I'd feel a little bit different about it. It's an interesting idea. I just don't think we have the team size right now to really warrant it.
It's a good answer, Ben.
Thank you.
It's a question specifically for you because I love you. We could go to one more question for Zoomaa. Yeah. What if one day you woke up and your nipples were gone like nose? Okay, I think that's going to do it for the show, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys for watching. I think we're going to end it right there. I think we had a great show.
Am I gonna hit a putt?
I think the Q&A, yeah, we definitely got to hit a putt. You already know. Yeah. Benji the Seam's going to step up, hit a fucking putt, and close us out.
I got to hit a putt because people were messaging me in the chat like, don't blow this.
I can't see anything in there. It's dark as fuck. Turn the light on. Hey, move your camera down. Move your camera down. Turn the light on. Move your chair out the way. Get this shit.
My camera down.
Get the quality going.
Yeah, let me change my. Let's get the exposure up on the Logitech real quick. Hold on.
Get it going, Ben. And hurry up, because Gizmo's got to go to the bathroom. And I got to walk him.
All right, let's get this done.
Oh my God, the no socks with the slippers really piss me off. Your feet are gonna sweat in slippers with no socks. Ben Janasim, he steps up to the green, he lines it up. He's gonna step up, slippers, no socks. Short's on. He's gonna strike it, and he's gonna sink it with these and bench at a seam. He's getting better by the day. He sinks the putt. It's nice and easy.
Easy dubs, Tom. Easy dubs.
Icy.
Easy fucking dubs coming out of bench and a seam, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, that's how you do it. Thank you guys for watching the show. We have incredible matches tomorrow. We end off with an Optic and LA Thieves. You already know we'll be live right after the fucking matches. Go to anchor.fm/theflank to check out all the audio sites we're on. Guys, go to the YouTube channel. Hit the fucking sub button. Why not? I'm uploading all the fucking flanks, so make sure to go check it out. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, the Twitch channel. Go follow us on Twitter. Twitter at Zoomaa with 2 A's. Twitter at Benji Nassim. At fucking Methodz. At Parasite. Go follow everybody. I don't give a fuck. Guys, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode. We'll see you tomorrow for another episode of The Flank.